Class of Statistics and Probability by Mr. Sarmiento, and for the PowerPoint presentation, Mr. Roman L. Pasardosa. So at the end of this video, you're going to calculate the commonly used measures of central tendency. You can provide a sound interpretation of these summary measures. And lastly, to discuss the properties of these measures. So, the measures of central tendency. So, measures of central tendency are the methods in getting the average value of any statistical series. So, what are the uses of the central tendencies? So first is the average provides the overall picture of the series. So we cannot remember each and every facts relating to the field of inquiry, which means that when you try to gather the data or when you gather data, there are chances that you will not remember the respondents or those where you get the data. So, one way of remembering or having a picture of the respondents is that by providing the average. Because it gives you the overall picture of the series. So, for example, let's have the age of the students in grade 11. So if the average is 16 years old and you are the reader of the state of this series, then you might think of someone at your age because the average is 16 years old. Okay? So, number 2, this average value provides a clear picture about the field under study for guidance and necessary conclusion. So, like from the example of the age of the grade 11, you might think of what kind of study is the researcher looking for. So, you can also help you provide a necessary conclusion because the average provides the exact image. Therefore, you can communicate or you can have your theory about that average. So third, it also gives a concise description of the performance of the group as a whole. And it enables us to compare two or more groups in terms of typical performance, like what is happening on competitions. So there you have 3 judges, and then they are just computing for the average scores of the 3 judges, and then compare it with the other performances. Therefore, they are able to identify who is the winner on that performance. So it also gives the concise description of the performance. So the highest the average, then they will be the winner. Means that they are the one who performed the best among the rest of the performers. So, what are the 3 types of measures of central tendency? So, we have what we call the arithmetic mean, we also have the median, and the last one is the mode. So, some of you might recognize this because these are just a review from your previous lesson on grade 10. So, we will be dealing more on ungroup data for this session. So, for the mean, we will have mean is equal to the summation of x all over n. And the legends of these equations are here. So, all you need to do is to add the statistical series and divide them by the total number of the scores. So if I have 31, 32, and 33, for example, and I wanted to look for the average, I just simply add 31 plus 32 plus 33. So you can have 96 over the total number of score, which is 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 scores, therefore it is divided into 3. That will give you an average of 32. So the larger the group means that the larger or the longer you add the scores. So the uses of mean. So first, mean is the center of the gravity in the distribution, and each scores contributes to the determination of it when the spread of the scores are symmetrically around a central point. Meaning, na kapag ginagamit natin yung mean, ang kinukuha talaga natin is the center. Kung nasaan yung gitna, yun yung ipoprovide sa atin ni mean. Kasi nga, di ba, ina-add natin lahat ng score, i-divide mo kung ilan yung total score. So, ang may bibigay sa'yo is the centermost or kung saan yung pinakagitna. Or, in other terms, yung pinaka-epicenter. Second, mean is more stable than the median in mode, so that when the measures of central tendency having the greatest stability is wanted, mean is used. So, kung gusto mo ng more accurate na makita si epicenter or yung center point ng isang data, ang pinaka-accurate na gamitin natin is si mean. Number 3, mean is also used to calculate other statistics like SD, coefficient of correlation, ANOVA, and ANCOVA, and so on. So like, from the previous discussion, ginagamit natin si mean para makakuha pa tayo ng other result. Kasi ginagamit siya to compare, tsaka pang-solve ng iba pang statistics. So, kung ano-ano po yung SD, coefficient of correlation, ANOVA, and ANCOVA, pag-aaralan natin yan through the succeeding lessons. So, since we have mean, meron din tayo diyang pros and cons of the mean. Sabihin, lahat ng bagay merong advantages and disadvantages. Advantages. So, the mean is rigidly defined so that there is no question of misunderstanding about its meaning and nature. So, sabihin, kung ano pag naibigay si average, hindi na tayo nagtatanong pa. Parang, kapag nakita niyo yung grade niyo at nakita niyo yung average, hindi na intindihan niyo na kung ano yung naging nature ng way of study niyo that grading. At nabibigyan din kayo ng clear picture sa kung anong ibig sabihin ng grades na meron kayo ngayon. Pangalawa, it is the most popular central tendency as it is easy to understand. So, kaya nga yan, kaya ang ginagamit natin sa competition is the mean kasi madali lang siyang gamitin at madali siyang maintindihan. Once na naibigay sa inyo si average, madali siyang i-comprehend. Number 3, it is easy to calculate. So, i-add mo lang kasi siya, tapos i-divide mo kung ilan sila, then you have the mean. Number 4, it includes all the scores of a distribution. So, that's why in the formula, meron tayong summation of the scores or the total number of scores. Number 5, it is not affected by sampling so that the result is reliable. So, kahit anong sampling ang gamitin mo, sinasabi natin na kapag pinaginagamit, ang result natin is always reliable. So, number 6, mean is capable of further algebraic treatment so that different other statistics like dispersion, correlation, skewness, requires mean for calculation. So, gaya ng sa uses of mean, ulitin ko, magagamit natin siya para makita natin kung ano-ano yung magagamit natin siya para mag-compute ng iba't ibang statistics. So, cons or disadvantages of the mean. First, mean is affected by extreme scores. So, ibig sabihin, kapag sobrang malalayo ang score, halimbawa, grade sa exam ng math. So, most of the score is 27, 28, 26 hanggang 20. Tapos biglang may mag-score ng 1, 2, and so on. Diba? Makaka-apekto siya kasi since ina-add mo lahat ng number at i-divide mo kung ilan sila, itong mababa, nahahatak yung mga matataas na score. Kasi, bawa kung ito, 28 tapos plus 1, pag i-add mo lahat yan, bababa siya dito sa parang yung center niya mahahatak ng mabababang score. So, sometimes mean is a value which is not present in the series. So, pag kumuha tayo ng mean, so ito yung data natin, 26, 27, 28, 20, 1, and 2. Kapag inad mo yan at kinuha mo yung mean, so, ang lalabas dyan is a score na wala naman sa given data na meron tayo. Kagaya niya, pag inad mo lahat yan, ang lalabas niyan is, ang mean na makukuha natin dito is 17.33. So, wala namang 17.33 dito sa given set of data. So, yung central tendency, wala dun sa data. Next, sometimes it gives in absurd values. For example, baka gaya nung nasa, kanina, 41, 44, 42. Kapag inad mo sila, divide mo sa 3, ang magiging result is 42.33. So, kahit ang data mo is discrete, nagkakaroon ka ng decimal. Okay, so, kasi sabing, it is never possible. So, may chances lang na magpo-fall si mean sa ating data. At may chances lang din siya na whole number siya, pero madalas, nagkakaroon siya ng decimal. So, kahit discrete ang data mo, magkakaroon siya ng decimal places. So, in case of open-ended class intervals, it cannot be calculated without assuming the size of the open-end class. So, pag sinabi natin open-ended class intervals, ibig sabihin natin yung tuloy-tuloy siyang nadadagdagan. So, hindi ka agad makakuha ng mean or ng average kasi kailangan mo yung total number of scores sa formula. So, kung dagdag ng dagdag yan, magbabago yung mean.